All right, guys, it is beautiful out, and all I want to do is be outside. So I figured come back to the creek. We would find some creek rocks, and we'd cut them open. Maybe we'll make something, maybe we won't. But it seems like you guys enjoyed the creek rock video last time, so I thought we'd do it again. Plus, it gets me outside. So come along with me. Let's see what we can find. Also, now that I'm at the creek, I've switched over to my fancy boots. I'm in a pretty mucky area, as you might be able to see. But this rock caught my eye. You can sort of probably see some of those stripes on there. I think that one might be a cool one to cut open. It's also chunky and big, so hopefully it's cool. Here's a good little area. Let's see if we can spot anything. Here's one of these very thin, geode-shaped rocks. Might stick that in there. And another little tiny one. I always find tons of this chert here that looks very similar to this, which I think is really cool looking. In fact, I'm tumbling several pieces of it right now. So I'm not going to take this with me, but I do like to show it off because I think it's pretty cool looking. Well, that's an unusual one. It's like a conglomerate, which I don't see a lot of out here. Interesting. This one's pretty interesting too. It looks like we've got some translucent chalcedony peeking through right there. It doesn't feel like chert, but I'd have to assume it is. Could be an interesting one. Huh. That one has some interesting stripes. Let's get that little snail off. I think I might put this one in the bag. This one has some interesting patterning. I wonder if that's all iron staining. This one's crazy looking. Cool piece of sandstone. Not taking it with me, but the colors are pretty. Now, I usually go much further down the creek, and that's what I thought I was going to be doing today. But because I'm by myself, I'm able to spend a little more time in each spot. So I'm finding things that I maybe would have normally overlooked, which is pretty cool. Here's one of these local little geodes that's already cracked open. Still pretty cool. I'm not going to take it home. I have enough of these, but that's pretty cool. This slab is really cool. Look at that really cool translucency through there. But it is a slab, so I don't know that it would be good for our purposes of sawing rocks open today. Look at this one. You can see the sort of white translucent parts. Not like the typical, or at least it doesn't look like the typical sort of clearish, milky chalcedony we see normally. That's an interesting one. I'm trying to let my phone charge a little bit. I was not prepared. I wasn't sure I was coming out today, but I brought a little mobile charger with me. So in the meantime, I picked up these two maybe possible little geodes. If they are, they may be the world's tiniest little geodes, but it would be fun to saw them open too. Now, I should be heading home soon, but let me show off the rocks that I found. I'm just having such a good time. I feel like there's so many more rocks to come and find today. I feel like I'm having such good luck, and I know they'll be here all the time, but, it's hard to leave sometimes. Here's a cool piece of, I assume, gray chalcedony. Maybe it's just chert. I can't tell if it's translucent or not yet. It's got the rind on this side, but I don't know, something about this told me to stick it in the bag, so I did. Now this one, when it was in the water, and even still now, and maybe it's the reflection of my gloves now, but it almost reflects purple in that translucent area. It's probably brown, but that's interesting. Definitely our best geode candidate of the day. Giant red rock. If you saw my last video, I think it was my last one, I got fooled by a rock that I thought was jasper, and I don't know what it was. Very confusing. This might be the same way, especially because I'm seeing those stripes on the side. Thought we'd cut it open and see. Wash that one off a little bit. But it's very bright red, as you can see. And then another stripy one. Probably a good place to turn around anyway. But I would like to find one just complete mystery rock for us to cut open, because I always have a lot of fun with that. So let's see if we can do it before my phone dies. Now, nothing makes me feel like I have no impulse control like rockhounding, but I was thinking this one is crazy looking from the little window I can see. The rest of it I just can't tell anything from. But that part is really interesting. I also found this one, but I feel like it gives too much away, but I also don't want to throw it back because I can see a lot of really cool little windows of translucency. I don't want to stop. I am making myself stop. Picked up this bacon rock. All right, I really don't need my phone to die in the woods, because that's how you die in a horror movie. So I found that bacon rock, and now I'm going to head back. All right, I've cleaned the rocks up. This is a very exciting mix, and I'm very excited to pick out the rocks to cut open now. And something very exciting happened, and this will be our first rock we're cutting open. Guys, the last rock I picked up, little bacon rock. I picked it up because it looked like bacon and it was weird looking. Had no idea. It has a little agate hidden in it. What? That is crazy. I mean, it just looks like a slab of bacon. On the other side, we've got a little bit over here too. Look at that. I can't tell you how excited I am. I think this is like my first real wild agate that I've ever found. And of course it's in a rock that I picked up at the very last second. And now I am dying to go back. Look at those bands. I know they're light, and guys, I can't tell you how excited I am. And we will be cutting this one open to see if there are any more bands on the inside. Oh! All right, let's check out this agate. Okay. So no huge windows, but we do still have that banding here and over here, like a perfect little window. Same on this side. You can see that banding really clearly right there. And right there. I have enough on this half that I could saw it one more time, which I might do. Not for this video, but if it's anything, maybe I'll post it on a short. Or just as a little community post, so keep an eye out for that. I'm pretty happy with it though. I've never really found a true agate out there in the wild, and this is so cool to me. The stone's pretty surprising too, because this really over here all feels like sandstone. Really interesting. Possible geode. It feels a little heavy. but I think it's worth a shot to cut this one open. This cut surprisingly quickly, which could be a good sign with a geode because it could mean there's a big pocket in the middle. So let's find out. No, okay. There's like tiny little pockets right there. And right there. But overall, very solid. I'll probably just end up chucking these in the tumbler. Oh, wow. Here's the conglomerate that I found, and I have to say it's pretty cool. We're not going to be cutting this one open. And in fact, I may throw this one back just because I'm not sure that I can tumble it either. But I may hang on to it a little longer just because it looks so cool. Stripey rock looks really cool. I'm happy I picked this one up. It does have big dent out right there, but I'm going to chuck this one in the tumbler too instead of sawing this one. I think it could come out cool, and I think, that's our best bet for this one. This is a rock that had that sort of purplish tint to it, and I don't see the purple anymore, but it does have really cool, like almost webbing to the weathering around this, I assume, chalcedony chunk. It looks like stained glass. It looks really cool. So I think it's worth cutting open. It's probably pretty fractured on the inside is my guess, but let's check. Well, this one fractured on me while I was cutting it, so I got a sneak peek of what it looked like. I was correct in that there are many, many fractures in this one. In fact, more than I thought. It does sort of still look like stained glass, which is pretty cool. I do not believe this would hold up in the tumbler, so this one will probably go into the rock garden. It's really cool looking, but it's just not something that's going to stay together, unfortunately. It looks really cool, though. This is one of the final rocks I picked up. I think we made some good decisions in the last couple minutes. You can sort of see these swirls inside. I think it's probably chert, but I think it could have a pretty cool pattern. So let's cut this one open. That's another agate in there. How did we get so lucky? I thought this was just going to be sort of a swirly chert. This one fractured at the end. You can see there's a bit of a fracture line right there too. Look at all of that. I mean, it's tiny, itty bitty. But that's still agate banding. 2. That's crazy. Oh, I can't believe there's so much agate in this creek and I've never found it before. How is that possible? All right. Luck is on our side. This one's a pretty strong contender. Look at those windows of translucency. Asking for 2 agates in one video is probably getting selfish and a little greedy, but I would think if we had another one, it could be hiding in a rock like this. All right. Oh, wow, that's crazy. That's way more translucent than I thought it would be. I don't think you would call that one an agate. Maybe you would. I'm not going to, but it's possible. Let me know what you think about this one. Would you call this one an agate? Really cool. I think this one would look really cool in the tumbler, and I'm definitely going to put this one in there. Whether it's an agate or not, it's crazy cool. Like, it's almost like you can see all the way through it. It's harder to see on camera, but in person you can really like see into it. You can see that that's even further below the surface. Just really deep and really cool. Oof. Man, we found some of the coolest rocks today. I'm going to call the video here because it's become unexpectedly long, but we've found some killer finds today, and I am so excited. I'm so enthused, and I'm really ready to get back out there. The thing about rock hounding is it's like adult treasure hunting, and it's so exciting, and I just have so much fun. And I hope you guys are having fun too. Thanks for sticking it out, and I will see you next Wednesday at 11.